The phone rang at 3 a.m. I was half dazed, my eyes stinging with exhaustion from a long day of work. I thought about ignoring it until the voice on the other end froze my blood. "I'm telling you, you need to come. Now. You won't believe what we found in the Black Forest." The words, Black Forest, echoed through the phone like a chilling wind sweeping through my mind. I had heard the stories of witches, spirits, and travelers who had ventured too deep and never returned. But this wasn't just some random call. It was Marcus Miller, a local guide, someone I had met once during a brief research trip to the region. He was shaken, his voice cracked with fear. "I can't explain it, but you need to see it yourself." My heart raced. I had been to the Black Forest before, just for the daylight hours, never daring to stay after dusk. The dark shadows of the trees, the thick fog that rolled in at night, it had always felt wrong, like something was waiting. "I'll be there in an hour," I said, my voice unsteady despite my best effort to sound calm. The drive to the forest was agonizing. The usual roads seemed to twist and bend, and the trees on either side of the narrow lane loomed like ancient sentinels, their gnarled branches casting long shadows across my path. The air grew colder as I neared the forest's edge. I arrived at the clearing where Marcus had told me to meet him. The night was unusually still, no animals, no sound, not even the whisper of wind. The camp was in disarray. Tents were overturned, and scattered equipment littered the ground. But there was no sign of life. My footsteps crunched through the frost-covered earth as I approached the center of the camp. Then I saw it. A stone altar, cracked and weathered with age, stood ominously at the center of the clearing. The air was heavy around it, a strange static energy that hummed in my chest. The altar was covered in ancient symbols, runes that seemed to writhe and shift before my eyes. And atop it, a wooden figure. It was a grotesque effigy, twisted, malformed, with eyes carved in desperation and fear. Its face was contorted in a permanent scream. I froze. I felt a cold breath on the back of my neck, like someone or something was standing just behind me. I whipped around, no one. But then I saw it. In the distance, between the trees, figures, pale, indistinct shapes moving in the shadows. I blinked and they were gone. Was it just the darkness, or was something watching me? Marcus stumbled out of the trees, his face ghostly pale. His eyes darted nervously, scanning the trees, never resting. "We need to leave. It's too late," he said, his voice trembling with a mix of fear and exhaustion. His breath came in shallow gasps, his hands trembling. "I don't understand," I said. "What did you find here?" Marcus looked at me as if I were crazy. "Don't you get it? This place, it's cursed. You're not supposed to be here." I crossed my arms, trying to steady myself. "I'm not going anywhere until I understand. What's happening?" Marcus hesitated for a moment, then muttered, "The witches. They lived here centuries ago. This was their ground. They were said to practice dark rituals, binding the spirits of the forest to the earth." He motioned to the altar behind me. "They say it's where the ritual was completed. The altar, where they offered their souls to the forest in exchange for power." I scoffed. "You're telling me this is some witchy nonsense, old legends?" His face tightened. "This is real. I saw it." He started pacing, eyes wild. We were digging deeper, trying to uncover what we could. We found an old manuscript, a diary of one of the witches. It spoke of the ritual they performed. They said the forest demanded blood to remain alive. When the ritual was complete, the forest would wake, and it would never be the same again. I could feel my heart pounding in my chest. And now it's awake? Marcus nodded, his voice barely audible. I'm telling you, we disturbed it. Something woke up. The altar, it's glowing. It's like it's calling us. Just then, a scream echoed in the distance. I spun around. What was that? Marcus's face went ashen. The others, they're gone. I should have left. Every instinct screamed at me to turn around and run, but something held me there. Curiosity, fear, or perhaps a sense of responsibility for the others who had vanished. We walked deeper into the forest, Marcus leading me down a narrow trail that twisted and turned like a labyrinth. The air was thick, suffocating, and each step seemed to echo unnervingly in the silence. It wasn't long before I started hearing voices. At first, I thought it was just the wind, but no. It was faint. Whispers, like the forest itself was speaking. I stopped, heart racing. Do you hear that? I asked, my voice shaking. Marcus didn't respond. His eyes were wide, staring into the trees. Then, slowly, he whispered, "It's them. The witches. They never left. They called them." I grabbed his arm. "What the hell are you talking about?" He yanked his arm back. "Don't you see? The forest. It's awake. It's pulling us in, and we're too late." Suddenly, the ground trembled beneath my feet. Boom, boom. It wasn't thunder. It was something far worse. The earth cracked open, a loud groan filling the air, and I fell to my knees as a powerful force pulled me toward the heart of the forest. The wind howled around me. Trees creaked, their branches twisting like skeletal hands reaching for me. Marcus screamed, "Run! Run!" But I couldn't move. I looked up, and there they were, figures appearing from between the trees. Ghostly, twisted shapes of the witches, their eyes empty, their mouths twisted in eternal pain. Their bodies were translucent, their limbs too long, their faces twisted in agonized silence, and their eyes, those eyes locked onto mine. "Help us! Help us!" they whispered, their voices hollow and chilling. Marcus was screaming now, running, but I was rooted to the spot, unable to tear my eyes away from the figures that circled around me. I wanted to scream, to run, to escape, but my body wouldn't move. The forest had claimed me. Suddenly, the air grew cold, colder than I had ever felt. The altar. It was calling me. It was glowing now, its symbols pulsating with an unnatural light. My legs moved on their own as if the forest itself was guiding me. I stumbled to the altar, my hands trembling as I reached out to touch the stone. The moment my fingers made contact, a flash of cold shot up my arm. The whispers grew louder. "Sacrifice! Sacrifice!" I turned toward the altar and saw it clearly now, the markings on the stone, human markings. Not just symbols. These were bloody handprints, embedded deep into the stone, as if the victims had been dragged there and pressed against it. A dark figure appeared behind me. Marcus. His eyes were wide, filled with terror, but his mouth was moving in a chant I didn't recognize. "Marcus? What are you doing?" He turned to face me. His eyes were vacant, devoid of recognition. "It's too late. We're part of it now." I backed away slowly, but he lunged forward, grabbing me by the wrist. "I have to finish it," he whispered, his voice no longer his own. "We all have to finish it." Before I could scream, the ground split open beneath us. The forest was pulling us in, deeper, deeper. The forest consumed me. The last thing I remember was the altar, glowing so brightly it burned my eyes. I heard Marcus's voice, faint, fading, a whisper in the distance, and then silence. When I woke up, I was lying in the center of the clearing. The altar was gone. The forest was gone. The air was eerily quiet. The only sound was my own breath. But something was wrong. The sun was setting. I had no memory of how I'd gotten out. And as I turned to leave, I heard it again. A whisper, "We are waiting."